In today's episode, I'm going to teach you how to day trade using Interactive Brokers, and we're going to be using the Trader Workstation desktop trading software that they offer. If we look at their website, you can see that they offer a number of different trading platforms, and they kind of rank them based on your experience level, from beginner to advanced. Now, I've already done a platform demo and given my honest review of IBKR desktop, and I said that at this time, it did not score very well on my 0 to 10 raw score because it's just a little bit too basic. It doesn't include some of the minimal viable requirements that I have for day trading software. So unfortunately, it's not something that I would use. But their Trader Workstation has been around for a lot longer. It's very well established, and it certainly is being used today by a lot of very successful traders. So this is the platform that we're going to focus on here today. Now, I'll tell you right now, I don't have any affiliate relationship with Interactive Brokers or with any other broker dealer for that matter. So what I share with you today is just my genuine opinion of how I think this platform performs, what its strengths are, and some of its weaknesses. My guess is that by the end of this episode, you'll know whether or not Trader Workstation will be a good fit for your strategy. My name is Russ Cameron. I'm a full-time trader, and I turned a small account with less than $600 into more than $10 million of verified and independently audited trading profits. Now, I share that with you not because I want you to assume my results are typical, because they're not, but because I want you to know that I have a deep level of experience in the markets. I've been trading for a long time. In fact, I funded my first account in 2001, and I've used dozens of different platforms. So I have a unique vantage point to be able to tell you, based on my strategy, really what software is going to work really well and help me make the most of the opportunities in the market, and what platforms out there are going to be holding me back and are going to really prevent me from potentially even being a profitable trader. It can be that big of a difference. The tool you use is important. Now, of course, it's only a bad carpenter that blames the tool, but at the end of the day, you want the best tools that you can find, and trading is hard enough as it is without using crappy software, right? Let's get real. So let's go ahead and jump on the screen share, and I'm going to pull up a slide deck here with some of my notes on Trader Workstation. One of the first things that I want to say is that Trader Workstation has a fantastic system for authentication, for secure login. This is the Trader Workstation platform right here in the background, but we'll go ahead and pull up this slide deck and I'll just put it on slideshow. So in order to log in to your Trader Workstation, and this is also true with IBKR desktop, you have to do a secure login, and you have to authenticate your login on the desktop on your mobile app. I think this is a fantastic security feature just to prevent someone from, if someone had your password, they could log in on any computer, right? So even if they have your password, they can't get into the computer without that two-step authentication. A lot of the software out there doesn't currently enforce that. And, when you're talking about your brokerage account and, potentially a tremendous amount of your life savings in that account, you really want that level of security. So Interactive Brokers does a really good job with that security feature. So that's the first thing that I'll say about Interactive Brokers. Now, when you first sign up to Interactive Brokers, it's a little bit confusing getting yourself situated with the market data. Some platforms make it incredibly easy, which makes sense. Webull, just for instance, when you first log in here, this will be blank and it'll say, there's a button that says subscribe here for market data. You click that button and boom, you're jumping right over to subscribe. So obviously that is the type of thing that makes it really easy to get yourself connected with market data, and the options are pretty simple. With Interactive Brokers, because they're an international broker dealer with customers from really all around the world, they have dozens and dozens of different data feeds, and that can be a little bit confusing for a beginner trader. So what I like to use is, for me, it's important to have real-time market data. So I want to make sure I have, of course, real-time market data, and I want to make sure I have level 2 data. So I chose to subscribe to level 2, which they're calling deep book data. So you subscribe to the level 2 data, and then you do your user agreements. It's professional, non-professional agreements. Most of us, all of us probably are non-professional traders. Non-professional means we don't have a license. We're not licensed, and you would know if you got a license. You would only get a license if you worked at a bank or a brokerage firm, and it's a license to trade with other people's money. And then you'd be considered a professional trader. And the only reason it matters is because it determines how much you pay in market data fees. That's the only reason. Professional traders pay more, Non-professional traders pay less. So once you've got your market data subscriptions, you are able to get logged in. So now I'm going to walk you through how to create your layout in Trader Workstation. Now, if we jump back onto the screen share, this is my layout in Lightspeed, which is the broker that I use as my primary broker for day trading. So you'll notice that this has 4 level 2 windows. So these are all depth of market where I can see all of the orders, all of the quotes. So that's the level 2 data. And then underneath each level 2 window, I have a small order entry window where I can actually place my orders. So I could do, I'll click right here. I'll just do an order to buy 25 shares, boom, instantly filled. And then I go to sell, instantly sold, very fast. So this is what I use for order execution. And you may notice there are no charts here. The primary reason I don't use charts at Lightspeed is because their charts are not very good. They're very basic. But that's okay. I have a workaround for that. Now, another platform here that I have is DAS Trader. This is a piece of software that you actually can use with Interactive Brokers, and I'll talk about that later in this episode. You can also use it with Charles Schwab. You can use it with dozens of different brokers, actually. It's a software company, and they license their software so you can subscribe to it, and then people use this software with all these different brokers. So anyways, their charts are also really basic. So I more or less have the platform set up in the same way. So boom, just bought 10 shares of Ford. So you could see my position window. This would be my open orders window, and these are the trades that I've taken today. And then Control Z to get out. So I'm using hotkeys to buy and sell. I'll show you how to use those and create those hotkeys a little bit later. Now, just why not? Here's a third platform, also very similar. Now this one I set up the charts for, but if I was actually using it, I did it for the purpose of the demo. But if I was using it myself, it would be set up, well, I would just close the charts out completely. So close that chart and close that chart, yes. And then, well, I'm gonna have to kind of rearrange this as it turns out. So it doesn't matter, but I would sort of rearrange that and kind of make it work. So that's TradeStation. So anyways, when I set up a broker, when I start setting up a platform, I kind of start from the same place regardless of which broker it is. The first thing I want to make sure I have is my positions window in the top corner. Now, this is kind of interesting because I was a little bit, I mean, I guess it's intuitive for probably most people. Maybe it wasn't for me. But I wasn't thinking about portfolio. I was thinking about a positions window. But portfolio is what they call it. So, all right, whatever, it's portfolio window, doesn't matter. So that's the portfolio window in the top corner right here. And then under activity, I've got this orders window right here. And then right down here, I have a trades window. And what I actually learned is that you have to unclick this padlock right here in the corner, unclick that padlock, and then you can start moving around these windows. And they're all in a grid, as you can see kind of in the background. So it's a little antiquated to how most platforms are kind of set up today. Again, going back to Webull, this, you want to kind of move this around. You can move it around very easily. This feels more modern and more like what people are accustomed to using and seeing. CDT, it's just very functional. So, but I will say their order entry window, look at how humongous this is. This is a huge order entry window. So Lightspeed takes all of that same information and condenses it into a window that's this big. Real estate is important, and Webull is using a lot of space on that order entry window. All right, so nonetheless, we're back over here. So yes, it's a little bit clunky to kind of organize, but it's okay. So when I first got set up here, I did not have this window open yet. I'll show you that one in a second. I went to new window and I went to market depth, level 2, right? That's logical. I know that I need level 2, so I said, yep, there's my level 2 window. And then I knew that I was gonna need an order entry window, which we have right here. And so I went to new window and I went to order entry. Where is it? Right here, order entry. So there's my order entry window. So I've got one of these windows. All right, so that's good. And then I pulled up a time and sales window right here. So this is going to show me all the quotes of the stock as it's trading, or it's going to show me all the orders that go through in real time. And then over on the right-hand side, I have charts. Now, the charts are good. They're really good. You've got 1 minute time frame. You've got 30-second, 15-second, 10-second. And in fact, they're very familiar. I'm like, all this functionality feels like, man, what's going on here? I've used this before, and I have, because the same charts that we use. So we license the source code from TradingView to power our charts. We connect it to our own market data. We customize it a little bit for our liking. We have a couple things that we change just to make it, suited for our software. And Interactive Brokers has done the same thing, which a lot of platforms are doing because TradingView has done such a great job building charts. Why start from scratch when you can license it from them? And it's not terribly expensive, all things considered. So their charts are great. You've got the time frames, you've got the sub 1 minute time frames. Honestly, if Lightspeed did this, it would be a good idea for them too. But, it takes time to do that. So the charts are great, no issues there. You can add your indicators, you could save it. Everything works really well. And the way we link windows together, so when you type in, a stock here like SPY, you got to click in the top corner. So this is one thing that I'll say. If you just click in the middle and type, nothing happens. So over on our software, if you click in the middle and type, it automatically knows what you're trying to do. And we built it that way. That's what we wanted it to look like. That's how we wanted it to work. Here, you've got to actually get your mouse up into this little tiny box. And I feel like, just a UX issue. It just sometimes you're trying to move quickly. And I don't, I got to get the symbol up fast. So not perfect, but tolerable. Now with linking, you can link these into a group. So these are all linked on the green group. Of course, I choose green because I always want to be green. And so once you link each one of these windows together, then you update one and it updates all. So if I change this to yellow and then I update this to the S&P 500 and click enter, it'll update all of them except, well, now not this one because it's on the yellow group. So you just group them together like that and then you're good to go. All right, so for the rest of this platform demo, I'm gonna get rid of the charts because as I said, I don't need the charts because of the charts that I'm using with my own platform, my own software. So, and then we gotta, so now one more thing. So as I mentioned, I pulled out this level 2 window right here. But then I learned that there's a limitation with this level 2 window, which kind of reveals one of the first odd characteristics of Trader Workstation. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. We will save the changes. We'll make this a little bit smaller here. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I just want to make it smaller without shrinking everything. Anyways, it's fine. We'll just unlock it and move stuff over. So the next step is how to create hotkeys in Trader Workstation. Okay, so creating hotkeys is important. As you saw me execute those orders very quickly over at Lightspeed and in my Charles Schwab account, and I could do the same thing in Trader Workstation or on Webull. I want to be able to do that naturally here with Interactive Brokers. So my kind of logic was, all right, typically in order to create your hotkeys, you've got to go to File, and then you've got to go to Settings. All right, so now we've got this kind of laid out a little bit better here. We'll just move that up a smidge just to have it. There we go. That's nice. All right, so we'll lock that. We'll save that. We'll go to File, and then that's where I'm going to Global Configuration. All right, so I'm going to Global Configuration, and immediately I'm like, holy smokes. Okay, there's a lot of settings here. But there's hotkeys. There we go. That's all I wanted, right? So I go in here, and I'm like, all right, so I want to create an order. So I click on this. Oh, and then I click Create Shortcut. So it's a buy order. So then what's the key? So let's just record the key and say this is going to be Shift 0. We'll just do Shift 0 for now. And we'll go to Customize right here. It's going to be a buy order. We're going to set it to absolute share of 10 shares. Order type will be limit. Offset, yes, great, because that's what I want to be able to do. I want to do an offset 10 cents above the ask to allow for some slippage. So we're going to do 0.10 for 10 cents above the ask for the offset. Excellent. That's important because a lot of brokers don't allow you to do offsets, and that can be really hard. So now here we go. We've got the offset. This is great. And then what else do we need? Transmit the order instantaneously. And we've got our first little warning. Be aware, and this is all in caps, so they're shouting at you. Be aware, I won't shout at you, but you know they're shouting. Be aware that you are activating a feature that will enable you to create and transmit an order using a single mouse click. Under the terms of the IBKR customer agreement, you are responsible for all orders entered in your account. Da, 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 da. Okay, we get it. There's some big risk here. So now that's turned on. And then with that, I'll do the time in force today. These you can't change, as you can see. And the destination will just be a smart route because that's basically all they give me anyways. We could try NS. This would be the first time I tried doing this. I'm not sure if this will work. We could try it. Let's see what happens. All right, so now we're gonna say, okay, we're gonna apply. And I'm thinking, okay, so now if I come into this level 2 window and I press shift 0, what the heck? Nothing's happening. Shift 0, shift 0, shift 0, nothing's happening. I've got no position. So now I'm confused. I'm like, I don't get this. So I went to the settings of the level 2 window and I'm in this and I see that level 2 has its own hotkey settings and they're different. They're not the general hotkey settings. Whoa. This is like, okay, this gets deep. So now we actually are creating hotkeys based on specific windows. Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. We get that nuanced. Okay. All right. I can work with that. So here we go. So now we do the same thing. So we created the hotkey right down here and it's set to shift 1 and it's set for 100 shares right now, which is fine. We'll just do 10 shares. We'll do 10 shares so I don't lose a lot of money while we're practicing here. And we'll try the NASDAQ route. Again, I don't know if that's going to work, but we'll just try it. And then everything else is going to be the same. Okay, so now let's apply. Let's say okay. So we're going to say okay, and we're going to press shift 1. So shift 1 says you currently do not have trading permission for this instrument. Would you like to proceed to trading permission? So, well, that's because we're on the S&P 500. Let's change to CDT. So CDT. And one thing I'll also note is that you have to enter a symbol and press the enter button twice. So that's a little bit CDT shift enter. Yeah. So you got to press the enter button twice. It's a little bit of a pain. So now we're going to do shift 1. And here, all of a sudden, we're getting this override. So this order will be routed directly to NASDAQ. They may result in higher trading fees. And then oh, right. So how much is the fee? Wait a second. $31.84. No, sorry. The fee is 35 cents. Yeah, because it's only 10 shares. So the fee is 35 cents. So I'll just override and transmit. Don't show this warning again. Okay, so now we're in 10 shares. Boom, 10 shares. All right, so shift 1. There, I'm now in 20. So watch, I'm going to press this. So we've got the hotkey set up right here, right? So this is my hotkey. So a little bottle cap there. So shift 1. So shift 1. So just like that is how we're jumping in. And you can see my gut feeling is that how long does this take? Watch as it goes from 30 to 40. Okay, pressing right now. Now that was interesting. We just added, so wait a second. So what did we just learn? Somewhere that other hotkey went through. So we just had one hotkey that went through for 100 shares. One went through for 100 shares, right? So now this is because we have different hotkeys set up, right? Because there's the global ones and then there's the one that worked for this. So shift 1, let's see. So that one went through. That was a slow order. Shift 1, 60 shares, 160, 170. Sending it right now. 180. So to me, my gut feeling on this is that the routing is a little slow to what I'm accustomed to. So pressing shift 1 goes to 190. It feels like it takes a solid, I don't know what the time is, but it doesn't feel super fast. All right, so now I'm in deep on this. I'm in 200 shares at $3.19. But I got to get out. Oh shoot, we forgot to make the sell hotkey. Now, before we create that hotkey for bailing out, as I was editing this video, I realized some of you may want to learn more about my day trading strategy. So I'm going to put a link. It'll be pinned to the top comment and in the description where you can download my small account worksheet. It's a PDF that's going to walk you through how I approach growing a small account, beginning, of course, with risk management, but then quickly getting into stock selection and the 5 criteria that I use to determine whether or not I think a stock has a potential to go up 50, 75, even 100%, not just over the course of a couple weeks, but in one day. And that can happen, and we see it on a regular basis when a stock has breaking news. Now, during the in the small account worksheet as the PDF, I'll also walk you through my entries and my exits, the way I approach it. So make sure you guys check that out if you've been interested in learning more about day trading and my strategy specifically. So that'll be pinned to the top of the comments and linked in the description. Now, let's figure out how I'm gonna create this hotkey to get out of that position. All right, so we're gonna go to settings. We're gonna go to hotkeys. So now I'm gonna show you the problem. You go to sell, and I'm gonna record the key. So it could be, Control S to sell, whatever. And then customize, and I want my size to be position. I only have the option of absolute or available or default. So available, initially I was like, oh, is that my position? But so I have to do by actual entering shares. So this is a problem. So limit, now we can do bid. This is all fine, minus 0.01. We can do the offset below the bid. It's a day order. We can make it a smart route. We'll save the money on it. Transmit instantaneously. And let's go ahead and send it. All right, so apply and then Control S. So let's see, did we do Shift S or Control S? Let's go back in. Okay, so we're gonna go, just jump back on here and back to the hotkeys. Oh, maybe I didn't, well, it's fine. So we'll do this one. So Control Z. So now I'm down to 100 shares right here. And I'm going to press it again. And now I'm down to flat. But you could see it's not super, super quick. And the problem for me, this is my first big problem, is that I want to be able to sell based on a fraction of my position. And what if I end up accumulating an odd position, like 113 shares? I don't want to be fumbling here trying to type 113 shares in this little order entry window so I can exit my position. That's too slow. So what I learned is that they have a second level 2 window, and they have a different one that has more features. This is crazy. This is so unintuitive. All right, so, but I'm being maybe a little nitpicky. I've been, I know what I like from software, and this is not it. So, all right, so we go to new window, and there's another level 2 window. Where the heck is it? Go all the way down here to more advanced tools, and you want to go to market depth trader. It's kind of hidden down there. You wouldn't see it, probably normally. I mean, it's not super obvious that it's right there. Now I can also pull up, I'll see, I can pull up a news window here as well, that we can just link in here. So we'll just put a little news window here. We'll see if this loads. So that we'll just put right there, and we'll do another news window, newswire, company specific news. We'll put this one here. We'll do this one instead. All right, so we're going to close this. We're going to link this up to the green, and then we've got company specific news. All right, so this window right here is the level 2 advanced trader window. So now we go into the settings of this window, and so this has its own set of settings, right? And it has its own set of hotkeys. So now your Shift 1 hotkey, make sure it's not 100 shares. So customize, it's set to 100, right? So we got to drop that down to 10 shares. Otherwise, we're going to be taking too much size. All right, so we've got that set up. All right, now Control Z. Here's the thing. In this software here, you can create one single close position hotkey. And I set it to Control Z. And it's going to close your position. And it transmits instantaneously. But it closes your full position. And you can only create one of those hotkeys. So let me show you. So we're going to do Shift 1, Shift 1, Shift 1. See, we're going 20, 30, 40 shares. Right? So now I'm going to press Control Z. Flat the whole position. All right, and this is real money. So I just lost $26. Now I don't mind doing it, but I'm just saying this is a real money account. So this isn't a simulator. This is actually how fast orders route. So the Control Z is great, but that's the best we get is Control Z. So if you want to, let's say you want to buy right here, 10 shares, and then you want to sell at the ask. You can do that, but you have to go in and you actually have to choose the fixed number of shares that you want to sell on the ask. And that for me is not ideal functionality. So even if you go to a platform that's commission free, like Webull, you can go to Hotkeys, you can go to settings, and we'll go to trade and then hotkey settings here. And this is a, let's see, sell ask half position. It's a limit order to sell. Quantity, 50% at the ask price. No offset. Extended hours. It's easy. This isn't, to me, it's like, this isn't complicated to offer these features. It's just, I think these brokers don't necessarily cater to traders like maybe most of us who are momentum trading. They just don't think to. And so, you know, they just don't add those features. But they should. And it would enable traders like ourselves who are very active to use the software much more effectively. So your orders have to be based on fixed share sizes, which I find to be not great. Okay, so now we've got a couple little issues. I would say, and let's pull up our broker comparison sheet here. All right, so where did that go? I've got a nice broker comparison sheet. So my broker comparison sheet here for, these are for, as you can see, a number of different brokers. And these are not just the brokers, these are also comparing them with specific platforms. So Trader Workstation is right here. This is the Trader Workstation column. And I already did a platform demo of Interactive Brokers Lite using IBKR Desktop, which is their desktop platform, which I said would not really be adequate for me at this time. Why? They don't have level 2, says it's coming soon. They don't have hotkeys to auto send. They do offer offsets, which is good, but they don't offer position by percentages, selling in half or quarters. And they also don't show halt levels. So how does IBKR Interactive Brokers Pro with Trader Workstation stack up? Yes, you have level 2. Well, thank goodness. Yes, you have hotkeys. Yes, you have offsets, but you can't sell based on percentages. And that's a problem for me. And you only have resumption quotes. You don't have LULD, limit up, limit down levels. So, you know, just based on these 5 criteria, which are some of the most important, there's only a handful of brokers that sort of include all 4 or all 5. And it's these ones right here. So Lightspeed, Charles Schwab with Dash Trader, Webull, or Interactive Brokers with Dash Trader, right? Because let's pull Dash Trader back up here for 1 second. This was Dash Trader. So using Dash Trader, you can actually create hotkeys with the offsets that you'd like. So let's go into the hotkey file here and we'll pull this up. So now you can create a hotkey. We can just go to new item and I'll just show you really quickly kind of how this works. So you would create your script and say, I want to sell position size or share size is going to be position times 0.5. And you could change that to 0.25 or 0.15, whatever you want, doesn't matter. Price, ask plus whatever, or bid, we'll do bid, and we'll do minus 10. So we're gonna change that from a plus to a minus. Time and force, day, plus, mode, load and send, build script. Boom, that's it. And now it works, easy. Now this software's been around for almost 20 years. You know, they figured it out. It's not that hard. So the nice thing is you actually, if you wanted to, could use Interactive Brokers with Dash Trader. You can link them. Now, the downside to that is it's going to cost a little money, but let's just look at that for a second. So Interactive Brokers Trader Workstation right here. You don't get the offsets, or you don't get the percentages, selling percentages, and that's kind of my biggest issue. How fast was the execution? In my experience, I mean, you saw those orders. Are they fast? I wouldn't really say so. And it's a direct access broker. You're paying fees and commissions on that. Whereas here, boom, instant, 250 shares, 500, 750, 1,000, boom, back out. I mean, it's so fast. This is the speed that you need. If you're trading breaking news, if you're trading volatile markets, you need speed. And that's what we've got here. So you don't really, at least in my experience, I don't feel like I get that at Interactive Brokers Pro with Trader Workstation. I'm not saying it's the slowest I've ever used, but it's not the fastest either. Now, just for the sake of argument, let's go ahead and throw out, and this might cost me a little money here, but let's just throw out a 5,000 share position and let's just see what happens. So we're going to do limit price. We're just going to do it the ask. So, oh, it's not transmitted yet. So we'll just transmit that. How many did it go through for? 500? Oh, I meant 5,000. I just wanted to see if it possibly, so we're just going to, the order size exceeds the size limit of 500. Please update to 10,000. So this is on my my account. So we got to go back over here. So we got to go over to file. We've got to go to configuration. Let's see. Where is it? I'm trying to type in here to search for order. So you can select your order size. Although I picked a bad time to do this because you can see the price is really dropping. So order size, where is this? Stocks, presets. I think it's the presets. Oh, and that actually reminds me that under presets, let's see. There was a preset I had to allow order to be routed and executed during pre-market session. FYI, if you want to trade Interactive Brokers using Trader Workstation pre-market, you have to go into the presets under stocks and check allow order to be routed and executed during pre-market session if available. That is critical. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Your order will just sit there. But yeah, I can't. Oh, so size limit 10,000 shares. Total value, you know, $100,000 doesn't matter. Sure, I'm just going to apply this for right now. We'll see what it does. So, all right. So now we've got an 82,000 share seller right here, which is not ideal. So it's not really a great spot to take a big position. I just don't want to let me just pull up the chart CDT. Maybe I'll do it on a stock that's not quite so volatile. So I'm going to press Control Z, take that loss, and let's switch to Ford. All right, so Ford's a company that's not moving too much. So we'll go to Ford, and we're going to pull up the stock, right? So I'm going to go ahead and buy 5,000 shares of this. And the reason that I want to do this, by the way, each time you're clicking here, and this is actually a problem. So I just clicked there, and it put out an order for 286,000 shares. Oh, and after hours has just begun. Well, discard. All right, doesn't matter. So the point here, so each time you click that, discard. Each time I'm clicking these orders, it's sending that through. I bet that we could turn that off in the settings if we went in here. But rather than spend time kind of going through this, let's just take a step back, because what I was getting to is that for me, Interactive Brokers, Trader Workstation, not really an ideal platform. And in fact, Trader Workstation or Interactive Brokers with Dash Trader would be a little bit better. The only issue is that you still have to contend with the fact that the execution speed isn't as fast as with some of the other brokers out there. So that's a problem. Now, let's talk about the raw score. So we go to the top. So Trader Workstation is a 4.9. It's a 4.9, which is primarily because they don't allow position offsets right here. So this is not a platform that I would use with real money, either with a small account or with a big account. Now, would I use, this is Trader Workstation here. Now, would I use Interactive Brokers with Dash Trader? It would be an 8 if it not for Rule 144. What is Rule 144? Interactive Brokers is the only broker that I've ever seen enforce this rule. So let me pull it up so you can see what it looks like. So here we go. It's right here. All right. So Trader Workstation or Interactive Brokers. So Rule 144, the number of shares you may sell during any 3-month period cannot exceed 1% of the outstanding shares of the same class being sold, or greater than 1% of the average reported weekly trading volume. And this is if you are an affiliate. This is a rule for affiliates. If you're an affiliate to an issuer. Now, the problem here is that Interactive Brokers errs on the side of caution by saying anyone, and by saying essentially everyone is an affiliate. And you have to affirmatively say you're not an affiliate of the company if you sell more than 1% of the average 4-week daily volume or of the total shares outstanding. So let's talk about what this means in a practical sense. So let's look at this stock today, CDT. So CDT is the stock that I traded today and made the most on. Stock's up a solid 80% right now, and it has today 143 million shares of volume. I made $40,000 trading it. My results are not typical. I've been doing this for a long time. Now, here's the thing. How much volume did this stock have yesterday? Let's check. Yesterday, it traded 659,000 shares. That's it. 659,000 shares. So in fact, the average daily volume over the last 4 weeks is probably, looks like about 500,000 shares a day. So 500,000 shares a day, that's the average daily volume, 500,000. So what that means is that 500,000 shares per day is average. What's 1% of that? 5,000 shares, right? So if you buy 5,000 shares and then you sell 5,000 shares, what's going to happen? Your account's blocked. You can't sell. You cannot sell until you first go through their compliance team and tell them, I am not an affiliate of the company. I'm allowed to sell. I'm not an affiliate of this company. And I've heard of people that have said it takes 2-3 hours to go through compliance. One person said it was as short as 45 minutes. Nonetheless, during all of that time, you cannot sell. You cannot sell the position. So what if you're trading something like this that's very volatile? It could be going up or down 50% in 45 minutes, and you can't sell. That makes Interactive Brokers essentially not viable for small cap trading. Now, it's not an issue if you're trading large caps. If you're trading Tesla, Netflix, and Amazon, Google, doesn't matter. But if you're trading small caps, this is going to be a problem. What's interesting to me is that this is not enforced by any other broker-dealer. It's not enforced by Lightspeed, Schwab, Webull, E-Trade. It's not enforced by Fidelity. It's not enforced by Robinhood. It's not enforced by TradeStation. It's not enforced by Centerpoint, Guardian, Cobra, any other broker. CMEG, Ocean, TradeZero, any other broker that I've ever heard of. I've never heard of this being enforced by anyone other than Interactive Brokers. Now, look, they're erring on the side of caution. They want to protect themselves, but assuming that every customer or client of theirs is an affiliate and making you affirmatively say you're not an affiliate seems like overkill. And based on industry standard, it would appear that it is overkill because no one else is doing it. So if they got rid of that Rule 144, maybe they give you the warning. They tell you, look, this is a rule. Do you know about it? And as long as you're not an affiliate, then it doesn't apply to you. Then you can continue to trade. So Interactive Brokers could be an 8. They could turn to green. They could be an 8 if you'd use Interactive Brokers with DAS Trader. Because then you get all 5 of these items. You get halt levels. You get position selling by percentage of position. And you can customize your level 2 in a way that's so much more visually appealing. So here I can go in, I can adjust the fonts, I can really make it look good. With Interactive Brokers, yes, you can go in here, and thank goodness I didn't punch that for 5,000 shares. That would have been a bad spot to do it. But you could go in here and you can go under trader, let's see, quote columns, level 2 panels. You could change the data you see. You can go to colors. You know, you can change these colors around. You can't change the font. You could change the font for pending orders, but not for, so it's, you know, it's good. It's not terrible, but it could be better. And so there's other platforms out there that are better. So what's the point of using software that is kind of clunky and isn't easy to use when there's something else out there that's better? Well, the cost. So this is going to cost you just market data. That's it. This is going to cost you $175 a month to use DAS Trader. $175 a month. And the order execution is not going to be any faster because it still connects to Interactive Brokers on the back end. So it'll be the same execution speed. Now, when it comes to published execution speed, Interactive Brokers, being a direct access broker, doesn't publish those execution speeds, at least anywhere that I could see. And where they do publish their execution speed is on IBKR Lite, which is their commission-free broker. So that doesn't count because that's going through payment for order flow. In fact, based on my testing, the fastest broker would be Lightspeed. And if I did a broker platform demo of Guardian, Centerpoint, or Cobra, I suspect those would all match Lightspeed. Now, I don't know for a fact, so I have to test them, but I suspect that they would. So, you know, we could add columns for those brokers, and most of them, so I'll just do one column to the left. So let's see. So Guardian is one of them, and then Centerpoint is the other. And these are probably at a minimum going to come in at 7.5. They're probably actually going to come in at 8 at a minimum. They're going to start at 8 because they're direct access. Yes, you're going to pay higher commissions, so it's probably going to be it's actually per share. So per share pricing, which is a little bit more expensive. So both of these are per share, so they're going to be a little bit more expensive. But then the rest of their settings are just take exactly what you've got here from Dash Trader, because guess what? They use Dash Trader. So now you're using that same software that we're accustomed to. So, you know, there's some more stuff to fill out for these, but yeah, just to give you a little bit more color there. All right, so I think what you've learned today is that Interactive Brokers Trader Workstation doesn't meet the cut for me, and it could, well, Trader Workstation really couldn't. Interactive Brokers could work with Dash Trader, but they got to eliminate that Rule 144. If you're using Interactive Brokers and you want to check out using Dash Trader, I'll put a link to this video right here, which is the Dash Trader platform demo. So you might want to check that out. And I'll put a link to another episode you guys might enjoy right here. And I want to thank you as always for tuning in. If you enjoy these platform demos, I hope you hit the thumbs up. I hope you are subscribed to the channel. And as always, I will see you for the next upload real soon. Thanks for tuning in.